I decided to give a update for October and how things are going. As y'all have seen, we had Hurricane Matthew pass by, or at least the outskirts of Hurricane Matthew pass by this last month, and I didn't post a final video on that just because I think I made it clear that it just didn't do much here. We didn't even get. I didn't even see any particularly high winds. We probably got a couple of inches of rain at most. In general, we've been in a drought here. The hurricane kind of stayed out closer to the coast. There's plenty of places that had flooding, but where I am, things worked out okay. But I did want to share the solar system performance, and October's kind of one of the easy months. I don't use nearly as much power, and let me just bring up the graph here. You can see on the 7th and the 8th are the 2 days that I used more power than I brought in. And that just corresponds to basically where the clouds from Hurricane Matthew came over and blocked things up pretty darn good. But notice on the 9th, I recovered very quickly. I mean, you see that huge spike over 35 kilowatt hours. Well, that's because most of the time during the month of October, I'm not using that much power. I mean, 15 kilowatt hours typically, as opposed to the summer where, it's more like 25 kilowatt hours per day. So you just kind of cruise through the month of October. Now, there is something, if you're off grid, to keep in mind. During months like October, you tend to become complacent. For instance, I use my stove. The hot water heater's always on. I use a washer and dryer. Just anything you normally expect in a house to just use without thinking about it. During October, you can do that. And one thing I didn't do is I didn't run the heat pumps too much. There were periods where it got hot, and I run the AC a little bit. I don't think I ran the heat hardly at all because there was a few mornings where I built a fire in the wood stove. Well, why this is dangerous is it's easy to become complacent. When you're off grid, you're always watching the weather, and you pick when it's sunny for when you do your high use things. Like if I know it's going to be sunny, I have no problem running my dryer. Right, washer doesn't use that much power, but a dryer really eats up the power. But during months like October, you can become complacent, and then when things start getting rough, when you start getting into late November into December when the days are really short and you can have extended periods of cloudiness, you really need to monitor your system, monitor the weather, and just be thoughtful of what power you use. And some people might think, well, why would you want to be off grid if you have to do that? Well, basically, all this power is free. I mean, you just paying a little attention, and yes, it's possible. I end up running a generator some. I've had to every year so far, but so far it's looking like I've got a good chance of not even having to do that. But just being thoughtful of what you use, as opposed to the electric companies just saying, "Hey, use all you want. We got you back. Oh, by the way, here's a big bill." You're almost being treated like a drug addict. So all you have to do when you're living off grid is basically, be a little responsible. Yeah, you may have to run a generator every once in a while, but be thoughtful of what you do, and suddenly you don't have that electric bill. I mean, I have no electric bill, no water, no sewage. My biggest and really only two bills every month are the cable TV internet service thing and the cell phone. That's it. Other than, of course, groceries and stuff. And I guess technically I could start farming and doing that. But I just wanted to give you a feel for what it feels like to live off grid, and give you an idea of what it's like during the good times. I mean, these numbers I showed, I think I used less than 600 kilowatt hours over October, as opposed to like August. I think the numbers was around 750 kilowatt hours. So this is what it's like during the good times. Once we get into November and December, well, let's see how things shape up then. But I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.